Welcome back. Well, there is some amount of resilience which is coming for the Bank Nifty. Let's see whether that sustains or not in the second half or maybe in the last 1 hour of trade. As of now, just watch out for a couple of these Adani stocks. We've been reporting on them ad nauseum, and Adani Transmission is in focus. Remember that stock on a larger context has lost around 30% on a month-to-date basis. 51% on a year-to-date basis. Today, it is also in focus because it will be releasing its Q3 numbers. So that is something that we will be watching out for probably in the next 1 hour odd. But let's talk about some queries now. We have Rajat Bose joining in of rajatbose.com and Astha Jain of HEM Securities to answer all of your queries this afternoon. Afternoon, Astha, as well as Rajat. Thanks very much for joining in. Let's get to the first query. We have Nidin Nair, who writes to us from Kerala. He holds 5,000 shares of Yes Bank, which he's bought at 19 rupees, and 100 shares of Indiabulls Housing Finance, which he's bought at 133. So both of them, he's sitting on a loss at this point in time. He wants to know the future prospects of both these investments. Astha, let's get to you on the fundamentals of both of these counters. Do you think that he'll at least get to his buy price break even? And if he does, what should he do?
Good afternoon, Ekta. I think the buying price will take a lot of time in order to, recoup the losses, because what happened in this counter is that Yes Bank, the results were not very strong, as we have seen in the other banking stocks, because the earnings were not positive due to the aging related issues. And they have created a lot of provisions due to their aging of these stressed assets. In fact, they have sold their stressed assets to the JC Flower ARC. That leads to some contraction in their NP and GNP ratio, but still I think things really need to be seen, because I think going forward also, if this resolution will get delayed, because still we are waiting for more resolution of these stressed assets, then it will make the earnings volatile. So in the near term, I'm not seeing any sort of positive momentum or any factor for the stock to rise. So it may take a lot of time. So if he has a patience to hold it for at least 3 to 6 months, then he can remain invested. Otherwise, he can exit from the stock.
All right, got that. Let's also bring Rajat in to tell us how the technicals are looking on both of these. Rajat, your call on both Yes Bank and Indiabulls. A stock like Indiabulls, it's down around 45% in 1 year. Do you think that there's a chance for a pickup in the near term? Rajat, can you hear me? All right, I think there is a little bit of trouble connecting with Rajat, so we'll try to, re-establish that connection. In the meantime, let me read out another query to you as well. We have Mohul Rohatgi, who writes to us from Chandigarh. He holds 50 shares of Anupam Rasayan, which he bought at 605 per share. He also has 35 shares of Balrampur Chini, bought at 380 per piece. He's a medium-term investor and he wants to know whether he should hold or sell both of these. Asa, let me come to you. Anupam Rasayan, he bought at 605. It's currently at around, 594. What do you think? The stock has not done well, but this is also a stock that, really, it's seen a high which is nearly double of the current price.
Yes, and I think the reason behind, in fact, in this quarter earnings also, there was fire at some of their unit in the Sachin. Otherwise, the top line would have been better. But still, I think the stock has a potential to run upwards because what happened, they have commercialized various products. And in fact, in the coming quarter, that is quarter 4, they have plans to commercialize another 4 or 5 products. So that too in the fluorination chemistry. So I think that will be a key trigger for the company. Apart from that, despite of this fire broke out, we have seen the financial results were average. They were really, not so much of negative. So all in all, I think the stock has a potential. If everything goes well with the stock, it can rise to the level of 640 to 650. So hold, I'm recommending for this stock. Another stock which is Balrampur Chini, I think the results are still awaited, but still I think he can hold the stock. Here the price target which I'm setting right now is around 390 to 400 levels, which is near to his cost price. So in the Balrampur Chini, I think the company has paying very good attention towards the more of cane crushing, and in fact they are taking various activities to enhance their cane crushing as well as insects or pest control activities. The distillery department is also working, so I think the contribution from the distillery segment will also be catching up going ahead, and the ethanol will also be working in favor of company going ahead. So results are awaited for this counter. Meanwhile, he can stay invested in the stock for the price target of 390. to 400.
Okay, all right, 390 to 400 is the target for Balrampur Chini. But Rajat, would you have a call on Anupam Rasayan and Balrampur Chini, or technically how would they look?
Technically, both are quite weak. I would say that Balrampur Chini, if there were to be any kind of rally, one should exit, because it won't cross 382. Before that, it would actually go down once again to something like 340, 335 kind of range. So there is a possibility that it would fall. And Anupam Rasayan, if it fails to take out 632, one should exit, because in that case earlier lows will be revisited. In fact, new low could be formed there. Earlier before this glitch happened, my voice was not reaching you. Yes Bank is the most awful stock of the lot. I mean, one should immediately exit. Indiabulls Housing is also equally bad. So I really don't think one should be getting into these counters or holding on to the positions. Hardly any chance that they would actually give you any great checks.
All right, that's definitely not the first time that we've heard this call on Yes Bank. But moving on to our next query, we have M. Pumari, who writes to us from Chennai. He holds 21 shares of LIC at an average price of 834. He's a medium-term investor and he wants to know whether he should hold or sell. LIC, remember, of course, has been in focus because of what's going on with the Adani group of stocks as well. It is the largest institutional holder in the Adani, companies. So let's bring Asta in. Asta, what do you think about this? Of course, the past couple of weeks have been very shaky on the back of what's going on with Adani. But considering someone has bought in and they hold at 834, what would you say now? The stock is currently closer to 600.
I would have said exit, but right now what I know is that they might be coming with the results on this February 9th. So I think at that till that time one should wait for the stock. Meanwhile, we have seen due to this budget, because there were certain changes in which were made in the tax exemption for the life insurance companies. So that was acting as a dampener apart from whatever fiasco going on from a big group. So that all these are sentiment dampener for the company. And in fact, in the last quarter also, the company was not able to perform very strongly, because we have seen the deterioration in their asset quality. Collection efficiency was, very much flat, and in fact their net interest expense has gone, they have shown it was rising up. So all in all, the fundamentals are not very attractive at the present momentum of time also, but just because the results are around the corner. So I think till that time, if one can wait, then hold is the strategy I'm recommending for this stock.
Okay, all right, Rajat, what is your view on LIC? You seem to be a little bearish when it comes to the likes of Yes Bank and others. LIC, would you buy into the weakness?
Ekta, what I would like to say here is this. Look at any stock and go to, say, Screener or any other, even Money Control can give that. That is the what is the extent of retail shareholding? If retail is there in a big way in any stock, that stock doesn't move. That stock actually suffers one hell of a lot. Only when institutional shareholding increases, you see the stock moving up. So here, frankly, from a technical point of view, from this perspective, that is the retail shareholding perspective, this stock, if there were to be a rally, if, as Asta was referring to the results being published and all, if something were to happen and there is any kind of a rally, get out of it, because you see there is a flag formation kind of thing, so it will definitely go further down. Maybe 575 or so is on the cards. So I can't see I can't see anything better there. I mean, I can't offer any palliatives for the investor. Very, very sad story. Retail has been shortchanged here because things are going down and down. That's it.
All right, that is the call on LIC. With that, Asta and Rajat, I'm going to thank both of you for taking out the time and speaking us today and taking us through all of these queries. A short show today, but we'll speak soon again on lots of queries that keep coming in. We are going to wind down on the show with the news that the market is down 100 points. There has been a recovery, but it's still around 100 points in terms of a cut. The Nifty Bank, which at the start of the show had moved into the green, has once again given that up, and we're around 0.25% in the red. We're going to wind down on this show now, but do remember you can always email us your queries and we will take them up with our experts. You guys stay tuned. Closing bell comes up next for the last hour of trade.